Overwatch Season 3 meta tier list. Which heroes are strong, which heroes are weak in Season 3? After the addition of Xian to the hero roster, you'll see in this video. S tier, lobby admin, Mizuki. Mizuki is the best support hero in the game right now. Bro is just insane after that ultimate change that allowed him to like block shots if you shoot from the inside of his Kekai Sanctuary to the outside. Before, if the enemies would enter the ultimate, they would be able to like pierce through your ult. Right now, you can just use it as a Winston bubble and juggle around it like a usual shield, and that changed so much for him. It's ridiculous. I don't know why he also got buffed. Like the Katashiro return got buffed. They increased his duration, I think, by 1 second. Pair this up with the speed boost major perk that he already had, and your team is like, delicious. Like this hero right now synergizes so well. Not to mention the fact that we have a lot of team comps, as you're gonna be seeing a little bit later, that revolve on soft flanking and also on everybody just stacking together, which means Mizuki can farm his aura very easily and farm it. Like the chain is very good, and players have realized that, oh wait, somebody goes to me, I can just chain them and I'm scared of him, and that's it. Mizuki, one of the most complete supports right now in the game. Next up, Kiriko. My opinion is the following. She is the only support that works in every single team comp on every single map. You can't go wrong by picking Kiri. Why? It's not because of her healing or her damage. It's not necessarily about her TP. It's about the Suzu and the Fox. The Suzu and the Fox are two tools that are mandatory in high rank gameplay. It's ridiculous. Suzu can enforce like some very aggressive plays, and it can also like punish very aggressive plays from the enemies as well. Fox is a team fight winning ultimate. You don't know where to use your Fox, just use it on point, use it to cap the point, use it on payload, use it as an opening in team fights, use it as a way to counter ultimates. Just a very good support hero right now, and also she has very high survivability with a TP, and I think Kiri's still gonna be here to stay no matter how many nerfs she's gonna be getting. Wuyang is just non-stop spam. It's very hard to catch him. He's really good at living. His ultimate also, I feel like, is one of the very few support ultimates that you don't get upset in case you mess it up, and it's just overall so much pressure that helps. You will see the DPSs that are currently really good right now in the meta. Next up, we have Juno. Is an okay pick, I would say. I think Juno is better than Lucio. It's a direct comparison right here because a lot of the times these two heroes are picked because of the speed boost angle. Lucio got nerfed and stuff. We're going to be chatting about that in a second throughout the last couple of patches. But Juno is a solid pick. I think you can survive pretty well with Juno right now because in case like enemies want to go with flankers and stuff like that, you have a Mizu or a Kiri or maybe even a Wuyang to try to help you out a little bit. Although you do play a lot with the Brig bodyguarding you a lot, and everybody just playing group top, it's very easy to not like get caught by enemies, and that is where Juno excels. Speaking of everybody being group top, it also means that you have more time to land some nice juicy auto aim targets, you know, like the right click, and also benefit from her ultimate. Next up, we have Brig. Brig is more in some team comps, I would say. Still a solid pick. I think that right now the meta is everybody just stays somewhere, and in case they go with flankers, we can punish them. If not, we stay together, and then eventually I'll get a lot of value out of the hero. So in case the enemies want to go with heroes like Diva, like Tracer or stuff like that, Brig will always be good no matter what. That's where Brig excels. She's a bodyguard. She's there to protect. Next up, we have Lucio. This is one of the very few times in Overwatch history, I would say, in which I feel like Lucio is not that good of a pick in higher tiers. Like, this is ridiculous. He took like slowly but surely a small series of nerfs that eventually made it harder for him to be present in the meta. The big one, I would say, is how little like the beat lasts right now by 1 second less, if I'm not mistaken. And because of that, that window of opportunity of like countering defensive ultimates is what triggered players into actually playing with heroes that have more defensive oriented ultimates. Heroes like Brig, maybe even like Juno, like Mizuki with a Kekai Sanctuary. Because like the problem is with Lucio right now is you use your ultimate to counter an ult, and then you have to go. If you don't go, then you lose the fight. Why? Because the enemy team will press Kekai Sanctuary. Every single projectile that goes to the Kekai Sanctuary gets denied. Meanwhile, Lucio, the beat will run out, and then you lose the fight. You know, like this is, I feel like it's harder to get value out of Lucio right now, and he's not played currently in one of his stronger areas of his kit, which is just trying to assist somebody on the side, maybe off angling to like try to 3-2-1 go for somebody together and isolate the enemies, because everybody's playing grouped up together right now. I think Jetpack Cat is solid. I know that they nerfed Cat Bastion. We all know how Cat Bastion has been the last couple of months, and it has been pretty annoying to play against and to play, I would say, as a Cat player myself. Why? Because I was literally a glorified drive. I was just driving my Bastion around and I was not participating in the fights. Like, I don't think that's a pretty fun experience, you know, just doing 30 damage per game when I have the abilities, the kit that allows me to be more aggressive. So they kind of like address that, but this doesn't mean that Cat Bastion is still not playable. It is playable, but a little bit weaker. But she also got some compensation buffs. She does a little bit more damage and a little bit more healing. I think they increased it by 5, if I'm not mistaken. And she's one of the very few supports, hear me out, that has big chunky AoE healing with the perk. Because of that, you can like stay close together to your teammates, you will perk next to them, you will not get caught. She has the same principles as Kiri does to a certain extent, as in you cannot catch her. Like Cat is very hard to focus down if you're smart about it. We have Ana. It's hard for Ana mains. Usually you get value out of Ana on maps with vertical high ground, with a lot of verticality. Maps like Gibraltar, maps like Dorado. Well, problem is right now, you are better off playing Mizukiri on those maps or Wuyang or stuff like that. You're just better off, I'm honest. She does excel though on other maps where I do have a very good win rate, on maps like Havana, on maps like Junkertown, on maps where you can play long range snipe. The problem with that is that nobody votes for those maps. So if you want to play Ana and you want to get some wins, try to play Ana on long range sniper maps. It's one of the very few strengths that she has right now compared to the other supports. If you play Ana on like a closer maps like Gibraltar or Dorado, divey maps, then you have to participate in the bans and maybe ban the Kiri, maybe ban the Diva. Like you need some help from your team if you want to be efficient on this hero right now. Next up, we have Zenyatta in B tier. This is for me the biggest surprise, and the reason why I put him here is because I've been playing a lot of Xian since her release. I have more games on DPS this season, got to Champion 4 by playing Xian than I have on support right now. And I've been noticing Zenyatta's absolutely terrorized lobbies. And you know what? There are two big things why this is happening. Number one, you'll see later on when we dive into the other goals that right now I feel like the strength is everybody stays grouped up together and then we go and strike. You're gonna see a lot of bunkering around for team comps, you know? It's not like everybody everywhere, it's everybody move as a unit with somebody just going to the side for a quest from time to time. And because of that, Zen can just sit somewhere and go like pew 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 pew. He'll get a lot of value. Like bro, there are some Zenyatas that get so much value, it's ridiculous. With everybody just bunkering up somewhere, it's kind of like playing against double shield, if that makes sense, you know? Like they're staying somewhere, I'm uncontested, no flanker, no nothing, because I have the Mizu that can help me any single time. That's number one. And number two, the tactician passive on Zenyatta is ridiculous. Like the fact that he can farm, he can charge extra ultimate charge for him means that he has transcendence almost every single team fight. Like I was like, this passive is bad and stuff, even for Zen. Okay, maybe for Lucio it's good because you wait for the opportunity, but I did not think about how fast you can get transcendence with Zenyatta. Because you spam, and then eventually you have transcendence, and you can go for a risky play. That's what the players do. They have transcendence, they have 25% ult charge, and then they go and flank. When they flank, they use transcendence sometimes to get out because they're greedy, you know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And then you go like, we don't have transcendence. Oh no, wait 1 minute, we have transcendence. So yeah, Zen mains, I think it's okay-ish for you right now, but still, you gotta know what you're doing with the hero. You can't just pick the hero and insta win. Next up, Lifeweaver. Lifeweaver, I don't think is a liability anymore since, I think the last patch that we had, I think it actually got nerfed in Season 3 since the mid-season of Season 2. He's been pretty good. His stats are sick. He has pretty nice win rate. The problem with Lifeweaver that I have is that why I value Zen more than Lifeweaver is that you can have a perfect Lifeweaver game and still not win the game. The offensive capabilities that this hero has are still a little bit too low in order to allow him to take control over the flow of the game and the flow of the team fights. So because of this, I'm putting him a little bit lower than Zen. Does this mean that Lifeweaver is a bad hero? No. Can you play Lifeweaver? Yes. But you have to accept the fact that in some games, you're gonna do everything in your power to win and it's still not gonna be enough because you need to find ways to do something to the enemies in case your team cannot keep up with how much aura you're farming yourself. Next up, we have Moira. This is a little bit of a hot take over here, and the discussion about the next three will also be a bit of a hot take, but let's dive into it, you know? So Moira is interesting. I think that Moira needs a little bit more time for players to realize how much raw healing and damage she actually brings right now with that damage orb and the healing orb change that she got. The fact that it does a little bit more than before, because everybody's gonna be still playing grouped up. The flankers that are gonna go for you, you can kind of contest them, and she's just overall a decent hero that, yes, doesn't bring a lot of utility, but if you're really locked into the hero and your fade is not forced, then I think you can win a lot of the games. Like what I'm noticing with Moira in general in fights, when in games, whenever I have a Moira, is that if Moira uses fade, she's dead. Alright, next up we have Ilagi. I did not think that the Ilagi change to the hitbox size was that big, but I was so wrong. A lot of Ilagi players have been struggling landing shots. We have a lot of pros that were playing like a lot of Ilagi, stop playing her, and she's just not that efficient. Not to mention the fact that her son right now, the ultimate, can be denied by so many heroes. It's ridiculous. Like you'll see later on, the heroes that are strong right now, almost each and every one of them, they have something that can deny her ultimate. And what can you do when you play a hero that the ultimate is so easy to counter? Do you even play that hero anymore? If you're neutral game, you pew 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 game is book anyway. So because of this, Ilagi falls off here. This doesn't mean that if you feel like you're locked in with your aiming, you want to go flank, can't get win. Can do that. But you'll see that it's way harder than in previous seasons. And lastly, K-ish tier, it's Mercy. I think that Mercy overall right now doesn't have good targets that she can assist in order to highlight her damage boost strength and her rest strength that she has over other heroes. Why? Because you'll see that the hit scans that have been really good in season 2, heroes like Emre, maybe some Ashe here and there on some maps, maybe even Sojin to a certain extent, they kind of have fallen out of flavor for other DPSs that are stronger. And this way, Mercy doesn't have that many strong damage boost targets that she had before. It doesn't have that many pocket targets that she had before. Because of that, it's also pretty risky to try to get a rest, because right now what happens is you get a rest, apart from, of course, the DPSs and tanks punishing you. Mizuki just, somebody dies, you hear the rest, Mizuki just walks to you with Katashiro return active, throws the chain, and then you're probably going to be dying anyway. So that's about it for Mercy. And lastly, F for drama, Baptiste. I love playing Baptiste. He's so much fun. I think he's my second most played support after Ana, but bro is just pain and suffering right now. Like, you will be having some very nice games with Bob from time to time. You're going to be feeling like you're landing, you're doing some damage, you're doing some good healing and stuff, but you have two big issues with him. Number one, the second you reload, somebody dies. Like, he needs more bullets. He just needs more bullets somehow. Yes, I'm noticing how fast I'm farming my ultimate, but I need more bullets. Either healing bullets or bullets that do some damage, some damage bullets. He needs more bullets. Like, play him a little bit and you're going to be seeing that the second you reload, if not after the first reload, after the second reload, you're going to be like, oh damn, I should have reloaded or something. It's ridiculous. Secondly, I think that his window is very bad right now. It's super easy to deny it. You have a lot of way to disengage it. Window is more of an ultimate that fights are happening in one place. And yes, you can be like, but Mr. Streamer, didn't you say that players are playing grouped up together and stuff? Well, yeah, the problem with that is the fact that even if window, you have a lot of ways to deny it. Just look over here. You can Suzu the initial damage till you get in cover. You can use your shift to get away. You can speed ring away from it. You can shield bash away from it. You can use Kikai Sanctuary and completely deny it. You can even engage into it and stun 5 players that are using the window. It's very hard to get value out of his ultimate, and I think that the devs need to look at Baptiste's kit in the future. Okay, that's about it for supports. Xian, S tier, lobby admin. I think that when she was released and we tried her out a little bit, we were like, she's fun, need some time to learn how to play her. The numbers I don't know about the numbers and stuff, but it's been like a week or so after her release, and I swear we already learned how to play her, and she's just dominating lobbies. I don't think that she drops like 50, 60 kills or stuff like that. She's not like a very huge issue all around. I think that you do have some counterplay, especially because her ultimate doesn't seem like press one button then everybody dies. I see a lot of Xian's feed with that. It's just that maybe the cooldowns are a little bit too low on some things. Maybe the execution is on a little bit too low of a cooldown. Maybe her shift is a little bit too low on a cooldown. She needs some number adjustments, but I think it's pretty understandable considering that this hero just recently got released for her to be like on the stronger side in order to see how cool the new hero is. But I do think that it will be nerfing her in the future. If you want to learn how to play Xian and stuff, lock her in, because I do think that you can get a lot of value out of her. Next up, we have Cassidy. Cassidy is pretty surprising for me. It's the reason why he's this strong is because the range of efficiency of where the fights are happening are his perfect range. Even though he took a massive nerf to his zoom in headshot thingy, the pistol major perk that he has, that still didn't affect him from being one of the top picks. We see like a lot of professional players decide to pick Cassidy as a way to shut down the flankers, to shut down Xian, to shut down Tracer. It's just overall a good hero pick with good damage, and the range is his strength, Like, Cassidy doesn't do well on long range. Cassidy does well on medium to short range, and we're currently in a medium to short range meta right now, and this is why Cassidy is super good. So Cassidy mains, if you're playing really well and aiming well, trust me, you'll be winning a lot of games on almost every map that you pick. Next up, we have the solid tier list. Tracer as the first one. Why Tracer? I think that Tracer is still one of the very few DPSs that can control the macro of the game by controlling the objective. What I'm trying to say is, no matter the rating that you're playing in, I think that Tracer is one of the very few DPSs that can go and push the payload, that can go and force the objective, that can go and distract the backline, but still be back in the fight really fast in case you need to do so. And because of her versatility and how she can be all over the place, I think she's still a pretty solid pick. She does have some pretty big issues versus Xian and Cassidy, of course. Even if she doesn't necessarily appear a lot in the kill feed, she's a hero that can just control the flow of the game, and that is why I'm putting her over here in A tier. Next up, we have Sojourn, an alternative Cassidy if you want to go from short to medium range hit scan to medium to long-ish range hit scan. Similar thing that Cassidy does, it's just that different aim styles, I would say. Sojourn is more like charge rail, shoot. Cassidy is more like You know what I mean? And right now, it's all about the consistency of the poking that you have rather than the big power spikes of damage that you have. Because what happens is when you're playing with really fast heroes, like we talked about Mizuki, we talked about Kiri, we talked about Tracer, about Xian. This is very easy to counter when you go higher up. Why? Because she charges the railgun, she shoots, I can go in, I go in. You know, the threat is lower. Cassidy, though, I go in, he always does the same damage if he lands the bullets. He doesn't charge anything. So that's it for Sojin. This still a good pick. Next up, we have Farah. This is more of a development right now that I'm seeing a lot in pro play. Farah is being picked a lot on some very specific maps. She's picked or banned a lot on King's Row, especially on first point and second point. She's ridiculously strong there. She's being picked on Gunasapi sometimes. She's just good on symmetrical-ish maps. Maps where she can just not stay non-stop in the sky, but can like use the cover to her advantage. You know, like it's kind of like high ground-ish in the sky, but you still have a lot of buildings that you can use to your advantage, and the poke is very annoying to deal against. I think that she can play outside of the range of efficiency that these heroes have, because you know, like Farah can still play long range if you think about it, but this doesn't mean that you don't need a lot of hours on her to understand the limits of the hero, because sometimes you might be playing way in the back and not do a lot of damage to the enemies because they're just dodging everything. But still, if you know how to move on this hero, I recommend you lock her in. Next up, we have Mei. This is a little bit of bias from me because I love brawly type of metas right now, and I do think that Mei works really well and punishes a lot of heroes that are currently very strong. Not to mention the fact that it's also very frustrating to die halfway across the map by some random icicle damage shots that she does because she has no damage fall off, and that happened to me at least 6 times. No, I'm not gonna say 7. But yeah, I do think that her wall is very good at isolating targets that sit on the floor. You know, like Cassidy can isolate them very well. You can cut off the escape that Xian has. You can maybe even cut off Sojin. You cut off the supports. You can split. You can throw the Mei ult after Kekai Sanctuary is over. It's a good hero that punishes a lot of ultimates that are happening on in game, that is. It's more of a tracer, but more like playing together with your team. So if you're more not necessarily an aimer, a more supported DPS kind of player, then Mei might be maybe a good hero for you in this meta when everybody stays grouped up together. Just make sure that you're not playing for yourself to explode. You're playing to help your teammates do something or to counter what the enemies do. Next up, we have Bastion. You'd get that bonus HP. That was a minor perk, you know, you'd just be able to do that. Well, until you get the minor perk, you can still play him. And even when you get the minor perk, you can still play him. It's just that whenever you ult, you can't ult as a second life as some Diva players do, you know, like the press Q and they're about to get demeched, same as Bastion principle with the X minor perk that he had. You just use it more usually. Be more mindfully with your positioning. And right now, I feel like a lot of players are very tanky, and Bastion also is on the tankier side of DPSs. So he has a lot of damage that can burst through a lot of the HP, and he can also survive a lot of things as well. So Bastion players, I think you're eating well this season too. Next up, we have Echo. I think Echo is okay-ish overall, probably as an alternative to Farah in case you don't want to play Farah. Of course, I'd prefer you look in other heroes in this case. This doesn't mean that this is not a good hero. What I'm noticing though from Echo is that it's not necessarily the amount of damage that she brings and the utility that she brings, the ultimates and stuff. It's more about her being very hard to hit. If you have good movement on Echo and know your power spikes and when to go and stuff like that, you'll be doing amazing. I'm just gonna give you one basic example. You chill, poke, poke, poke. Don't use the stickies. Ramatra uses the slow from your team. Boom, you peek, you use the stickies. And because of the slow on the floor, it's very easy to follow up on that and you'll be doing well. Still, you need some playtime on the hero. Next up, we have Symmetra. This is more of a team play oriented hero. She works really well when everybody is grouped up together though. Still has one of the strongest ultimates in the game. I think she works very well. She's actually one of the DPSs that I default to in case I can't do anything on hit scan and I'm getting diffed nonstop. Like Sim is very good because the targets are very annoying to deal against. The TP is always good. Even if your team doesn't want to take it, you can still take it yourself in order to force some pretty weird team fights or at least enemies look at you. And the ultimate is still, in my opinion, one of the strongest in the game. Next up, we have Reaper. He took a bit of a hit in season 3, a little bit squishier than before. Does this mean that he's unplayable? Bro, I'll be honest with you. I think he still comes from the side with a special move, and I think that you're gonna be suffering a little bit. Yes, it's easier to get value out of other heroes and stuff, but pair up Reaper with a Zarya on like close corridor maps and stuff like that, and the Reaper is very talkative, then you can get away by playing him a little bit. Freya next up. I think that Freya is a solid pick as a note here. Freya is slowly but surely becoming a staple on maps where it's easy to land poke because everybody stays grouped up together. On Circuit Royale, Freya actually starting to get banned. Why? Because everybody's poking up from the same space and it's very easy to fire my ultimate and they can't deny it anyway, you know? And the DPS that I'm playing, I can live what they did to me. So Freya, you pick her more as a pokish hero, kind of like how you pick Farah, you know? It's either that or you pick Freya in case you can't live on the floor hit scan heroes like Cassidy or Soj or stuff like that. So Freya players, in case you're struggling to get wins, what I recommend recommend is you try to vote on maps, try to pick maps that are more close corridor so you can spam the road a lot and get value out of that. Like if the fight is happening all over the place, probably won't be getting that much value out of the hero. But on maps like Circuit Royale, I think you can get a lot of wins. Next up, we have Genji. This is a little bit of bias because Elemental guy from Mexico absolutely popped off in the World Cup qualifiers a couple of weeks ago, but not necessarily because of that. I think that he's still okay-ish. He can contest the flanks. He can contest in case somebody gets out of the way. Nano boost sometimes when it's applied, especially on long-range sniper maps. I know it sounds a little bit of counterintuitive, but Ana plus Genji Blade works. Still works in the big 2026 if you want to combo that. I think his Blade works also really well at forcing ultimates. And at the end of the day, he's one of the strongest DPSs at punishing in case somebody makes a mistake. The problem is though that it's way harder to punish right now than it was before, as you have to be very fast. So if you're Genji main, if you dash in and 180 triple shuriken the body or the head, then wonderful. But if you're more of a chill Genji main, you'll be having some issues here and there with this hero. Next up, okay-ish tier. First off, we have Vendetta. Why Vendetta? We're seeing some Vendetta being picked a lot against comps that play in the same spot. One of the reasons, my opinion, is that Vendetta is seen as a soft counter to Mizuki. Why? Mizuki in general struggles against heroes that can close the distance. They start smack at him. You know, they start smacking at him. And Vendetta is one of those heroes. Secondly, her ultimate just goes through like a lot of ultimates, Mizuki's ult included, because it smacks the floor. So this is why we're seeing more Vendetta being played. Some tanks that are being played to synergize really well with her. Zaga, for instance. And she also got some buffs in this season. So Vendetta mains, I think you should be forcing her a little bit. Next up, we have Emre. Emre is like a solid hit scan. I don't think he's very carry. I don't think he's very weak. I think he's just very solid. If you don't want to play any other hit scan or any other of these heroes, I think you can't go wrong with Emre. It's just that, let's say you would get 100 value out of these heroes. Out of the Emre, you'd get 80, 90, no matter how well you play. Might be enough to win the game, might lose the game. Ashe is more map dependent than Emre is. Roughly same principle. I do think that you have better options, but with the right bands and in the right team compositions on some parts of the map, I think you can get value. Maybe on Route 66 she can work. She's more map dependent than the other hit scans. I think she's an okay-ish pick, and she benefits from damage boost, for instance, if you want to lock that in. Next up, we have Hanzo. Hanzo's been used recently as a way to break through maps that have a lot of high ground, to break through the tiny corridors that you might be facing, so you can get one-shots and also use the Dragon Force them away. For instance, he's picked sometimes on Gibraltar. 3 likes playing Hanzo a lot from Liquid. You can try to play some Hanzo too, but again, I think that this hero is map dependent. If the map consists of players playing in one tight corridor, like let's say Kings go first point, sure. Kings go second point, maybe. Circuit Royale, for instance, sure, lock him in. But you gotta aim, you know, you gotta know what you do with a hero. Next up, we have Soldier. I think he's just a weaker version of Emre right now. If you flank into some damage, you can get away with it. If you stay together with your team, why not play Emre or Ashe? It's just a solid pick overall. I don't think he's a liability necessarily. He will provide a lot of damage, but it's kind of like Moira is, you know? Like, we have a Moira, it's okay. I like some utility. This doesn't mean that we can win the game. Next up, we have Widow. Widow's okay-ish on some specific maps. I'm gonna give you like the strongest part of the map right now, the strongest map that I think she has. I think she's insane on Rialto first point defense. If you're a Widow main, play Widow on Rialto first point defense. You're gonna be seeing that you're gonna be getting a lot of full holds happening. It's a legit strategy that a lot of high-level players are using. Other than that, just vote sniper maps. Same principle for Widow. She just depends on sniper maps. Maybe ban Sigma, so you get rid of the shield too. So keep that in mind because shields are very strong versus her. Next up, we have Sierra. Sierra has been picked. Also, same principle for Sierra as we have for Freya is what I'm noticing. If players are playing grouped up together and short corridors, then we can get value out of Sierra. I've heard that Sierra is doing really well across all ratings though, up until the GM and champion and stuff like that. I don't doubt it because he just land the dart and do a lot of damage, but I do think that you can also force her in higher lobbies as well if the map lets you do it. I think she does consistent amount of damage, and I think that it's pretty difficult to punish her if she wants to reposition with a drone with the heroes that are currently strong in the meta. So Sierra mains, I think you're okay-ish, but please try to pick her on maps where you can get enemies clumped up together. Next up, we have Anran. I think they're doing a lot of buffs. They've been doing a lot of buffs to Anran since her release. I just think that maybe the range that she's playing from is not that efficient and stuff. I think she's pretty hard to play. She's picked as a counter to D.Va a lot of the times by high rank players. Problem is that you have other counters for D.Va right now that are more consistent than Anran is. I just think it's not her time at this moment. Maybe in the future, maybe in a more Mauga-centric meta. Lastly, from okay-ish here, we have Venture. I think they're an okay pick. Problem is that players are getting used to how Venture works. Venture goes under, burrows, goes for you. You kite that away. You play range. You throw the chain. You disengage. You have so many answers right now. I don't think that they have a good time in this meta against the heroes that are strong. So So I do think that the numbers that they have are good though, but just not Venture's meta. And next up, we have F for Drama. We have 3 DPSs in this. This is a rarity. Usually we have like 1 or 2. Sombra, I think that she probably works at spawn camping a lot of heroes and stuff, but the higher you're going to be climbing, the more you're going to be seeing that you have more damage with other heroes, you have more utility with other heroes, and the hack is way easier to interrupt the higher you will be climbing. If you're struggling against Sombra, then try to play closer to your team or try to use your disengage for when she goes for you, and don't be afraid to fight. Next up, we have Junkrat. Everybody's staying grouped up together. Yes, I understand. Problem, if you do a lot of damage to them, they have a lot of ways to deny the damage that you're doing to them and also benefit from it. For instance, it's super easy to give the enemy Zarya 100 charge right now. So I don't think that Junkrat's that good right now in Season 3. To a certain extent, operates same principle as Freya or Sierra with a spam, but it's just that I feel like these heroes are way more consistent than Junk is. And lastly, Torbjorn. Torbjorn is not having a good season, in my opinion. I think that Torb excels when everybody's all over the place, you know? And everybody's not all over the place right now. Playing grouped up together, you're spamming a lot. You just have better options, bro. Right now, you just have better options. I'm sorry, Torb mains. Lastly, we have tanks. This is my tier list for tanks in Season 3 at this moment, and I'm surprised by how many heroes I put in solid tier, I'll be honest. Okay, let's start. S tier lobby admin. You know when a hero is strong, when the hero's design doesn't let him necessarily be strong on some maps. For instance, Sigma, until he gets his floating perk, should not be strong on maps like Dorado, or even on maps like Gibraltar. You know, like you should be okay on flourish maps like Circuit Royale. Well, we're seeing Sigma being picked everywhere. You want to play Suravasta? Sigma. You want to play Dorado? Sigma. You want to play Junkertown? Sigma. Sigma just has everything right now. Insane damage, insane ultimate, insane survivability, amazing range. The mobility that he gets when he starts float maxing is ridiculous. He can deny ults like Diva can with his suck ability. Sigma is overall the most complete tank in the game right now. He has one big weakness. He can't dive, but he doesn't need to dive. Not to mention the fact that right now, it's super easy to position with the Sigma. He's sitting here. Oh, I'm sitting next to him. Very easy. So, Sigma mains, I think this is one of your best seasons ever. Next up, we have Solid. And we have a lot of heroes here. I just want to say that I'm putting them into like 2 categories, okay? First one's over here, and then the other one's over here. Number 1, we have Ramatra. Ramatra generally is picked as a okay-ish counter versus Sigma. Why? You close the distance, you start fisting, you know? The fists go through the shield. Simple. Problem. Sigma will poke you up before you go in. You need speed boost to go in, and you need to avoid the poke that's happening by just walking to them. And the problem is that on some maps, you can't play Ramatra. Why? Because Sigma's gonna be staying up top and poking you down. So you're better off playing other heroes in this case. Does this mean that Ram is bad? No. This means that he's a little bit map dependent, and I think that Ram has some pretty good stats. With proper coordination, I think Ram mains will be doing pretty well. Next up, we have Zarya. I think that Zarya is one of the highest banned tanks across all ratings, and honestly, I can definitely see why. In this meta, when everybody stays grouped up together, I think that it's super easy to get value out of your bubbles. You can just bubble somebody in, like yeah, you would bubble flankers and then stuff like that, you know, in the past. But right now, you can just like walk in or bubble somebody that wants to go in and do something to them, that are staying grouped up together. You don't need to look to the side to bubble somebody. They're right in front of you. You're gonna be getting a lot of energy, a lot of ultimate charge, a lot of value. I think that right now Zarya is okay. More than okay, actually. It's just that if the enemy tank realizes that you are killable, you're probably dead. Right? A lot of the times, Zaryas get greedy with the bubble usage. They use double bubbles and then Ramatra suffer as I have, and then walks up to you and starts fisting you and then you're dead. But this doesn't mean that Zarya players can think more about how you want to use your bubble management. So in case you're getting rolled down, you're dying a lot on Zarya, then try to be more mindful about your bubble management and you'll see that you're going to be doing pretty well. Next up, we have Hazard, who received not necessarily a bit of a perk rework, but some number adjustments here and there to a lot of his perks. I think that he's a very good ranked hero. Tell yourself this, if Hazard engages on you and he has armor, you probably lose the fight. The secret to winning against the Hazard is to poke him before the fight begins, same as against every dive tank, but more specifically against Hazard, because his block is annoying, his wall is annoying, his damage is annoying, it's over. So if a Hazard jumps on you and he has armor, it's probably over. The fight is over. Key is to poke him before he goes in for you. A lot of Hazards though, they're very sneaky with how they approach and you're dead. So Hazard mains, I think that on close corridor, not necessarily close corridor maps, because that's when the brawl just starts and you're probably going to be losing this. On maps where you can kind of like split the opponents, you know, like one goes a little bit to the side, stuff like that, you can get value. Like him on Circuit Royale, maybe on New Junk City. On Suravasa, for instance, you know, you could get value out of him very easily. It's just that you need really good APM and you need good mechanics on the hero in order to get value out of him consistently. Now, a hero that, in my opinion, doesn't need a lot of good mechanics, but does require very important and decisive decision making, Mauga. Runs at you, shoots you, forces the point, point, haha, and then you lose the team fight. Cage is a good ultimate. You can close the distance against a lot of players. You can pick Mauga versus Zarya, just go and slammer, shooter, it's just whatever. But problem is, he can get poked out a lot. You'd get better value out of a Sigma just poking you down. He doesn't have verticality. He can just go at you like on the floor. So he's a little bit map dependent and also requires a lot of resources. Can you get value out of Mauga though? Oh, hell yeah. I think you can climb with him a lot. Next up, we have Orisa. Orisa is just overall a consistent pick. We've seen like some teams and players just prefer playing Orisa in case like they don't want to complicate things. Just a solid pick. Can play her with almost every support. Classic is Lucio Kiri. Might carry games, might lose games. I think that Orisa overall is probably the most solid pick out of the tanks if you don't want to like think about advanced mechanics and stuff like that. Just look in Orisa, bro. Next up, Diva. Diva got some nerfs in this season as well, if I'm not mistaken, and also the meta doesn't quite favor her. Mei is strong. Mizuki chain is very good against her. She has a lot of counters. Players have had enough with Diva, so we found answers to how strong she is. If you're a good Diva player though, I think you can still get value out of her, but you have to be roughly same level of decisiveness as Mauga right now. When you commit. When you force high ground, you force high ground. You can't stay in the middle of a team fight and think what you want to do. Next up, we have Reinhardt. This is more of a speculation, but I heard that his win rate is also pretty high. Chat has been telling me recently. He's good. Why is he good? You're gonna be like, going like, what do you mean? Well, you know, Ramatra walks up, Zarya walks up, Mauga walks up, and they get poked. Well, Reinshield denies the poke. If I close the distance and I start smacking my hammer around a Sigma, a Mei, a Mizuki, everybody's sitting close, I will get value. He also got buffed with his Fire Strike. Now you can like, Fire Strike travels faster. It does more damage. Overall, I think that Reinhardt is slowly but surely back. Depends on the map that you're playing on though, so keep that in mind. Next up, we have Wrecking Ball. I think it's pretty tricky to get value out of Ball if you don't have a lot of hours on him. If you're a Ball main, then you are probably going to be finding some angles in which you can get value out of the Ball. It's just that you need a little bit of help from your teammates. Remember when I was talking earlier about Wuyang doing a lot, and then maybe not winning the game because you need some help? Well, pair Wuyang with Ball. Ball players, get a Tracer player to help you out to finish kills, and you should be fine. You can still isolate targets, you'll be doing okay. Next up, okay-ish tier. First up, we have Domina. Domina is an interesting pick. I think that she's a budget Sigma at this moment. I think that Blizz should be looking at like giving her a little bit more of like some changes to how her kit actually works. She's okay. She can hold down the fort. She kind of reminds me of how Orisa was back in Overwatch 1 when she would just anchor the point. She just shield, anchor the point, stay there. She has a lot of decent poke. I think we can get away by playing Domina on a lot of maps. It's just that again, she doesn't have a way of like going on high ground, but I think she's still overall an okay-ish pick. Next up, we have Winton. Well, bro, usually pick Winton on dive maps. There are some teams that play Winton on maps like Sukavasa and stuff like that. You know, more of a cheese type of team comp. You know, you want to dive and stuff, but in general, what's going to happen is you're going to dive in and then you're going to die. They're going to pick Bastion, they're going to pick Mei, they're even going to pick, I don't know, bro, anything, you know? And you're going to be having a rough time. If you have somebody to follow up on your dives and you feel like Winston works, you can get value out of him. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, but generally speaking, I don't think that happens very often. Next up, we have Doomfist. Doomfist overall, same principle as Ball, I would say to a certain extent. It depends on how many hours you have on the hero in order to make him viable, to make him work. It's just that Ball is more consistent than Doomfist is. I think Doomfist would work better in a meta where you'd have a player splitting a little bit more than we have right now. So yeah, maybe some changes in the future. Next up, we have Roadhog. Roadhog players are always banning Ana, always banning Zenyatta, but the problem is that right now I feel like you have way more bans to do than just 2 or 3 bans. You gotta ban so many heroes, it's ridiculous. Even if you land insane hooks, Bubble, Ramatra slow. I don't know, bro. Mauga, haha, walks to you. Spear, DM, it's hard. If you're a Roadhog GOAT though, I'm not denying that you can win a lot of games with him, but a lot of the time, I feel like you need to have some ban specific in order to make this hero work. And lastly, Junker Queen. And I'm very sad because I don't like Queen being this weak. I haven't seen Queen being picked as a serious pick for quite some time. I think that maybe if she gets a perk that lets her, I don't know, climb high ground, she might be a little bit more playable. For me, she's the most fun tank to play. I don't play tank that much, but when I play tank, I try to look in Queen as much as I can. It's just, I don't know, I feel like she just gives you like a good dopamine rush with how her kit is designed. It's just that it's rough for her. Why? You close the distance, you're half HP. You start the fight, you throw the axe is denied or something. You get rocked, you get Suzu'd, you get walled by Mei. So many things can go wrong. So I do think that maybe her perks need to be looked at or something to make sure that she can actually close the distance and start going full gladiator mode at you in fights in order to make her viable. That's about it for my tier list for season 3 of Overwatch. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll be seeing you live on streams on Twitch and on YouTube as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Till next time, ML7 out.
Hey, I'm Olaf. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe. Meow.